One question for you guys. The United States has a space force. It's a legit branch of government, and as Sean, I think, pointed out earlier, the logo is ripped off of what?
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
It's the Starfleet logo. Man, Donald Trump doesn't have any original ideas, does he?
Yes, no, none at all.
He's puffy, man. He just take that, sample it, and make it new. So what does the Space Force do? Who do they report to?
I'll read it. I'm on Google. I'll read it. It says the U.S. Space Force is organized as a military service branch within the Department of the Air Force, one of the 3 military departments within the Department of Defense. Space Force, through the Department of the Air Force, is headed by the Secretary of the Air Force. So this is like the goddamn Air Force on steroids, according to this. Like, that's all it basically is. They have a mission. Their role is to space security, combat power projection, space mobility and logistics, information mobility, and space domain awareness. That's the official mission of the Space Force.
It sounds like some double talk bullshit book report for somebody who didn't read the book. Like, it makes no sense.
Like, when you're making shit like with fluff, like a 3-page paper, like it's all just fluff. This is what this feels like.
Wait a minute. How can I join the Space Force? Throughout next year, the Department of the Air Force will determine career ascension paths for military and civilian personnel assigned on wanting to be assigned to the U.S. Space Force. While the exact process of joining the U.S. Space Force is still being developed, anyone interested in joining the U.S. Space Force should look at the current Air Force space-focused career fields such as space operations and space system maintenance.
So NASA?
I guess.
Right. So can you? I mean, what a time to be What a time to be like 18 right now, knowing you can sign up for the Space Force. Fuck the Army, not the Marines, not the Coast Guard. Fucking Space Force. I want the easy way out.
So, do we have spaceships that not? I guess these are not NASA ships. These are like other ships. So where are they?
The only benefit I can see to this is you might get some Republicans who actually want to appropriate money to the Space Force, which NASA could use to actually do real
Star Trek
space development, because it's a branch of the military, and Republicans love to give money to the fucking military.
Well,
so this is going to be Star Trek or Farscape?
Hold on, wait. Before that, here's one. Will there be a space? Will the Space Force have a service academy? Currently, there are no plans at this time for the U.S. Space Force, specifically service academies. We expect to commission officers from existing service academies, reserve officer training corps programs, and officer candidate schools into the U.S. Space Force. So basically, you got to be part of the Marine Corps, the West Point, the Naval Academy, the Air Force Academy to get into the Space Force.
That's too much work.
So civilians.
That's like a lot of hoops.
So wait. I'm looking for the civilian part.
So it's only fitting that the United States
can't be any civilian
academies in Cape Canaveral.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking. There are no civilian. What's the impact? Oh no, what's the impact to Air Force civilians? But not can civilians join the Space Force? This whole site is just bull. It's double talk.
You have to understand, this is some shit that Donald Trump thought up. He signed into existence as a fucking publicity stunt. And now the rest of the government is like, well, technically we have to do it because he is the president and he signed an executive order creating it. So
yeah,
we at least have to stand up a website and put some bullshit on there for people to read to make them think it's a real thing.
How will the Space Force impact me? Oh God.
It takes taxpayer dollars and throws them away to other funds.
Look,
into other things.
Taxpayer money that gets assigned to this branch of military service, if it ends up being funneled through NASA in some way to help develop low orbit vehicles for these guys to fly around in, will actually benefit us, because they'll take what they've learned from developing those vehicles to develop more scientifically oriented missions and vehicles, and maybe they'll start a new shuttle program.
But it looks like NASA's going the route of private space programs.
They are, because they don't have any fucking money.
Right, and honestly, the private space programs are doing a hell of a lot more than NASA ever created with contracting out to the typical military contractors.
True.
SpaceX is proving them wrong every single time.
Military contractors are full of shit.
Yeah, I mean, how long is Boeing? Boeing itself has been working on their capsule for God knows how long. Hasn't put a test up yet. In the meantime, SpaceX is about to launch their second crew a mission at the end of, I think, end of the first part of November. And they have reusable rockets, completely reusable rockets.
Yes.
They land the motherfuckers back down.
But you know what the difference is, though? Boeing keeps getting paid whether they produce anything or not.
Right. That's the thing. Military, like Lockheed as well.
Yeah. Like the military contractors are not in the business of actually
doing
producing useful items.
It's a jobs program. So
they're in the business
goddamn
of
government waste. Goddamn government waste again.
Yeah.
Look, military contractors are the greatest form of government waste.
Welfare.
Yeah, it's government welfare for big defense contractors. It's basically what it is. And funding this through NASA and making them
private sector leeches.
Yeah.
But the government too pussy to cut fucking funding. So incompetent government leaders who are Democrats keep giving them fucking cash.
No, these are Republicans.
I'm sorry.
The DOD has always been conservative. Cut that out.
What are you talking about?
But who else? Who signs off on these things? Administration after administration after administration.
Look,
Democratic.
Wait a second.
GOP just
of
give
the last 24, after the last 40 years, what, 28 of those years, 28 of those years have been Republican administrations? Come on, man. They're the ones who are signing
all
off
of them, and all the administrations, Democratic and Republican, don't have the balls to say we're pulling the fucking plug because we're not getting any results.
Well, that's not true. Bill Clinton cut the Defense Department budget.
And actually, Barack Obama also trashed like their plans, the Ares plan, because it was like wasting money and not developed. So he cut that.
Not enough money was saved. They could have cut more.
Not enough money was saved. Move those posts.
Oh my God! So they do it, and you're still not satisfied.
They didn't cut enough. I'm not satisfied with the amount of spending they do. Period. It should have been.
The point is, you had two Democratic administrations that cut funding and stopped the wasteful spending of the programs because they weren't producing. Plans weren't viable.
Right.
Well, it's still wasteful.
That's better than the Republicans where they keep. You got a Republican now that created a whole fucking branch of government that's not real.
Which I never agreed to or wanted. Homeland Security. Which is also stupid. So is the TSA.
Right.
I'm talking Space Force, man. I mean, I get the Homeland
Security. Stupid. You have an Air Force. You did not use space. You have an Air Force.
Ludicrous.
Okay, we don't have flying cars. We don't have fucking jetpacks. So we got.
We don't even have a real hoverboard, but we got a Space Force.
Yes.
Think about that. Back to the Future 2 came out in '89 with the hoverboard. We don't have real ones, but we have a Space Force.
A fucking scooter without the handle.
Look, more importantly, what you have is a Space Force that doesn't have any defined mission, no goals.
Because it's the Air Force with a different logo. That's all it is.
No spaceships.
That's true.
No spaceships.
What fucking spaceships are we building right now? None. Like fucking none. There's no Enterprise. There's no nothing.
Look, at least with NASA sending astronauts up on SpaceX, they're not hitching rides with the Russians anymore.
I guess
that's baby steps. Okay, yeah.
They were hitching rides with the Russians.
Right, for like 20 million a pop or something.
Right, because we ended the shuttle program and we haven't developed any other orbital vehicles.
Mind you, the government, right, mind you, that was what, 2011? Was that the last shuttle mission?
Yeah.
So that ended, and in that time, the government contractors of Lockheed, of Boeing, Grumman, all those people who did the space program back in the 60s and 70s and made all those vehicles can't create one vehicle to this day. So a startup company by Elon Musk has come and surpassed all of that shit and made a very profitable, very viable spacefaring program. What does that tell you? Like, seriously.
We wasted money and we suck.
All the years of experience between Lockheed and Boeing, they can't create a capsule, a rocket.
They didn't have to do because we didn't ask them for any results. They didn't have to do shit. They just kept pulling cash. And when you don't have to do shit, getting the amount of money that they get, it's like, oh, what? We got to make something? Oh, fuck. It's kind of like that. So they've got.
I mean, we still working with ion propulsion that's supposed to be a little bit faster and cleaner and safer. We still don't have that. Fusion we don't have yet. God forbid. I mean, we never get the speed of light.
So you can't use.
Fuck it. Can they give us a car that won't break down? Fuck that. Let's keep it simple. Can you handle that project for the?
Hey man, Elon Musk's Tesla is just past Mars apparently. All right, the one they launched with SpaceX rocket.
Yeah, well, that's not exactly the same thing.
No, of course not. They just set on the trajectory. But right now, I want to let people know it passed Mars like 3 weeks ago. It was orbiting Mars or something.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, these
Fucking sad.
There you go.
You already can't say it.
Fucking sad.
Yo,
There
that
it
is
is.
such a Star Trek. That is Starfleet's logo. They really did rip
Yep.
off Starfleet's logo.
Yes.
Yo,
It's
Donald Trump is not original at all.
No,
Oh.
not at all. Not at all.
Oh my God.
Just,
puts water in ketchup. Like, just, it's just why you have the Air Force. You didn't need a Space Force. Like you have the Air Force. 'Cause
that's what I.
You
That's
have the Air
the
Force
first
and
thing I
NASA.
said when I heard it. Is that you
it's
got to
just
need a space force.
because I'm looking at the logo right now and I'm just like, why?
Like
Like,
there
why?
is a space command
Yeah,
within the Air Force.
right. Which
So-
means you did not need a Space Force.
Right. So
You have
you're
this
putting
already.
this thing. Look, this is just something that Trump wanted to create so that he could basically put his name on it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I did
Space
something
Force
Obama
sounds
never
cool.
did.
I mean, I won't lie. Space Force sounds cool. It's good optics. It just sounds cool. Like the inner 8-year-old says Space Force, and it's happy. It's fun. It sounds cutting edge, but it's the fucking Air Force. That's what it is.
It's no good without a spaceships, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we don't have any spaceships. We ain't got none of that shit. We don't have hoverboards, flying cars,
It talks
spaceships,
about satellites.
time travel.
Creating
Nothing. We don't
a
got,
satellite infrastructure.
fuck. How come we
There you
don't have
go.
a Stargate? Why don't we just have a Stargate Force?
We
How about
already
that?
have a satellite.
See the difference?
Correct.
Look at the difference.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
Starfleet,
Well, the one on the left
Space
is
Force.
actually, the Space Force command is actually a mouse pointer instead of an actual like. It's a mouse pointer icon that they turned to point straight up.
God.
But I mean,
Okay, man.
yeah,
Gene
I don't know
Roddenberry
what
is
they
like
were.
rolling around his grave right now with this bullshit. You can't believe this.
Look,
Plagiarism at its best.
if I was Paramount, I would sue the United States
I would
government.
sue the
for
United States
copyright
government for this shit.
for
We'll never win that
trademark
battle.
infringement and all of that. Yeah, there's no way I would actually let that.
Hey, you know what? We should all
They
like try
literally
to sign up for the
just-
Space Force and see what happens. So we should do that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should all apply for the Space Force.
I
Who
mean,
gets accepted, who gets
if you
denied.
actually did like a dedicated recruiting station for the Space Force, I think that'd be interesting. So you
need
want to
to
go to
We should
Mars?
do it as a joke to see how far we can get and what happens after.
What?
You need
Like
to
a
read.
mock?
You better read the fine print in those papers you sign because
I
they
bet
might
you
say
will
if we don't have
you will
space
all
people,
be
Space
Starfleet
Force,
commanders.
drop you in.
All
No,
of
you
us
know what they're
will
gonna do? They're gonna,
I mean,
they're
what
gonna
if
be Riker.
Like,
the
you
first
take- what if you
COVID
got- what if you
vaccine
gotta
is gonna be tested on the Space Force.
Like, what if you gotta like take like an entrance exam, but it's like all Star Trek trivia.
Cool, you passed. It's like easiest exam ever.
In the following episode,
United States Space Force, Department of the Air Force.
that just sounds it's the fucking Air Force. Like all that extra
It's-
words.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Right.
Sorry, I still
the
think
exam will
Starfleet
be the exam should
Command
be
United
say
Federation
5
Planets
words in
and-
Klingon, and it's like
You know? How many green women can you sleep with in one night with the same condom?
And then you have to use a bat lift for the physical challenge.
How many times did Commander Data actually have sex?
So you're on Rigel 4, but your transporter's broken. What do you do? Write in answers only.
You have a coolant leak in the warp core. What do? You have 20 seconds to the warp core.
Oh,
How do you get more power from your warp drive? Question 1.
What is the thing Captain Picard does when he gets up from his seat? Straightens out his jacket. It's like, come on, something easy like that. Congratulations, you are the newest member of the Space Force.
you are a Starfleet. You are now a Starfleet commander.
Right.
And the
You
first
know?
question, Sean will be like, so where are the phasers? Well, I got to sign a waiting period for that too, huh?
Psychological question. So if you were a phaser or a lightsaber,
I
which
would have
one
my
would you choose
concealed
and
carry
why?
for my phaser.
Do you fire the
Turtle.
phaser sideways or straight forward?
No, I'm seriously going to look into
Oh man.
Actually, what I want to do is I'm going to find, okay, since it's only seems to be military people, I have some family members and friends in the military. I'm going to see if I can convince one of them to sign up for the Space Force, and then we're going to like have a journalistic view of what happens and have this on the show. I want to play this out and see how this goes.
I mean, at least if you said some cool shit like, okay, if you join the Space Force, we'll let you go to Area 51 and you can report back. Like at least give us some goodies or something, like a swag bag. Like you get
The government will
access.
not confirm or deny what is that area. They finally confirmed that Area 51 exists, but they will not confirm or deny what is in Area 51.
We all know what the fuck's there. We all know what the hell's in there.
My question is this: when the aliens from Independence Day show up, are these the dudes we're sending out first to meet them? Or are we going to actually send out the real Air Force to fight them instead?
We're gonna launch our magnificent ships. They're gonna be the most wonderful ships in the world. No other world has the ships that we have, according to Donald Trump. And we're gonna take care of all the aliens.
No, he's also gonna say,
No other world.
they look like regular planes, but they're not regular planes. They have special engines in them. We have the most marvelous special engines in these planes.
Yeah, but they're all gonna be like fucking. They're gonna be like fucking glittered in gold and shit. 'Cause that's the only color he knows. We're gonna look. We're
gonna say Trump on the side. And
We're gonna be the
airplanes
tackiest
we launch
fucking.
because they don't say Trump on it.
Can you imagine like meeting some Martians with gold fucking spaceships? We're gonna be the tackiest motherfuckers in the galaxy.
Well, we're reflecting space from the light from the sun, so you'll see us really easily.
Yeah, that's
It's like, think about that.
It's just gonna be sad.
Oh, man, he can't even get COVID under control. What do you think he can actually manage a space force?
Yeah.
Unless we've had a secret space force for years that the government
probably Area 51.
I think that's what it is. I think Trump came in office and America's Book of Secrets or whatever it was, he got briefed on it and found out that Area 51 and the aliens and all that shit is probably real. And we have backwards technology and whatever. And decided, I'm going to make a space force.
When he first came into office.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
You know damn well they did not give Trump the Book of Secrets because they knew that motherfucker would tweet them out on the toilet.
Right. I'm pretty sure they didn't. But somehow, some
Book
way.
of Secrets he was supposed to get, and the adults in the room said, we can't give him this shit.
Damn.
I mean, we think about this.
I was really hoping
to get the conspiracy. If you want to get a conspiracy theory, like there's the Majestic 12. Go research that if you don't know anything about it. But the Majestic 12 story is the fact that Kennedy got to the point where.
Finish that thought. Keep going. Some people might not know.
The Majestic 12. Apparently, one of the theories is that Kennedy wanted to share with the Russians about the alien existence and what we've had and what they got and kind of work together on that. And the Majestic 12 was like, nah, fuck that. And that's why they had him killed. So conspiracy theory, whatever, but you guys go research Majestic 12. If you don't, never heard of it, but it's an interesting story, actually. Yeah. So after Trump was, if that was the case for Kennedy, then you're right. If they gave Trump the Book of Secrets and told him the truth, there's no way in hell he
No
that Twitter feed would be awesome.
Yeah.
They won't give Trump intel they have on Russian assets because
right. So they're definitely not talking about the aliens or our
telling
allies.
they're not telling him any really mind blowing secrets.
I was that's what I was kind of hoping they would just let him know because I want to know. I know there's something in there, and it's not just advanced aircraft. It's just not.
Did you ever hear? I can't think of the guy's name. I have to go back and look. But there was a hacker, one of the black hackers. Hacking government, Department of Defense, NASA files, whatever. And he was able to pull down files very quickly that showed a roster list of military people serving on different ships. And they were USSS, and they were like ships, like United States spaceships. And they had military and what their specialties were. A lot of them were astrophysics, exobiology, geology, whatever it was. And they had like 5 different rosters of ships that they had. And he had pictures that were coming in. And this is at a time when the internet was a little bit slower at the time. It was probably DSL points, whatever. And as he's pulling these images down, he said he got a lot of stuff. And as he did, all of a sudden his mouse started moving and they started deleting stuff right away. And then he got visited by people. So he couldn't save all the information. He had little pieces of it, but that was it. He kept talking about it for years. But he said that's why he always thought there was a black space force that, a hidden space force that we had for years from technology.
I would believe that. I mean, I don't think they've ever been straight with the whole Roswell story. I just find that, just going back to that incident real quick, trained military officers, guy who you sent to the investigation, studied aircraft, knew what aircraft was
knows what a weather balloon is too.
Right, he knew what that was. He goes out to this field, examines some fucking material, brings it back, and he fucks it up. And he's been an expert in this area.
A lot of people also said what they saw, and then by 2 days later, everyone was changing their story. So,
well, yeah, we'll fucking kill you if you don't change your fucking story. Has a lot to do with it. So I absolutely believe that. I mean,
so all these stories being said, that's why I think there's a part of Donald Trump. Come on, man, what spawned this Space Force shit? It's got to be something in his head that he heard or saw They got
You probably
exposed to
said
what
it
he
because
thought.
they refused to tell the alien story. You probably refused to tell, so they said, okay, fuck y'all, I'm going to create a Space Force. You're not going to tell me.
Let's be real about this. Donald Trump is a guy who gave the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
He did do that, didn't he?
Rush Limbaugh is full of all kinds of crazy shit. So
Yeah.
who the fuck knows what strange thought got in his head and he decided he was going to create a space
No,
force?
but if Donald Trump, imagine if Donald Trump on November 2nd was like, fuck it, he sees that he's going to lose, gets the Book of Secrets somehow because somebody's not paying attention, this human error, and he blurts out that aliens are real and I have proof, and here's this video, and it's fucking tweeted out. I think that'll be fucking amazing.
Well, the problem is if Donald Trump says it now, half the people will believe it, and most people won't believe it because they already said so much crazy shit now that anything he said, you're not going to believe anyway.
Yeah, fuck.
I mean, he's batshit crazy. He said some stuff already that you're like, come on, man. I mean, and infect your,
I'd believe
inject
him on the
yourself with
alien thing,
bleach.
though.
I mean, come on. He said from the White House press room, oh, you can inject yourself with bleach, and there's light that can do it too. That's what I heard. And tells that to a doctor sitting there looking at him like, no. It's like nothing surprises me anymore. He could probably blurt out, like, I've seen the aliens. They tell me they're real. And only people that will believe him are his 38% followers. Everyone else is going to say he's fucking crazy. And he could be telling me.
Because I don't believe that Bama had COVID.
I've heard that. I've heard some people say that they don't believe it, like it's a hoax. They try to get sympathy. I've heard that. That would be an angle.
He is
Or he can say he has a miracle cure and he's trying to get everyone else out of
he's
cure.
obese. He probably has all kinds of shitty health problems. And nothing.
Right. In 3 days, he's fine. He's overweight.
40 people, if 40 people in your White House that we know of supposedly got it, and it's point whatever percent, 1 or 2 people are dead. 1 or 2 people are out of this bitch. But everybody's fine. The worst case, what's the worst case other than Mitch McConnell's hand rotting?
Chris Christie. And he's another fat fucker that's overweight. And he was in the hospital intensive care for a week.
Yeah, but they got the drugs. They get access to shit that you and I don't get access to either.
True.
Let's just
all I'm
put
saying
that in
is
perspective.
some of those people should have died. Ain't nothing happened to nobody.
So either COVID's not real or they really didn't have it.
They're
Either
all
one or the other.
fucking lying.
I mean, something was wrong with that dude because you saw that video he did in like the garden, and the right side of his face was fucked up.
Then they had the flu.
That's steroids. They pump steroids on. That's what that was.
Well, right, but they
he
didn't.
was out of breath going up and down the steps and getting off the hell. You could tell he was breathing hard. Like he was out of breath.
Right.
More than his normal fat self. But yeah.
I mean, I'm quite sure that he actually had it, but he's a fucking cockroach. So of course it didn't kill him.
Right.
Cockroaches will survive nuclear winter and outlive us all. This motherfucker's a cockroach.
Yeah.
And yes, I called him a fucking cockroach. God damn it.
Because he is. Like he's an infestation. COVID won't take him out.
That Batman ain't have shit.
And I don't think Melania had it. That was just another reason for her to stay the hell away from him.
I'm skeptical. Let's just say that. Because he should have been out of here.
And what was going on with Mitch McConnell's hand, by the way? What was that about?
We won't say.
Huh?
I think what's happening is the deal he made with the devil is actually killing him.
His hand's starting to rot.
Killing him yeah, he's starting to rot away, and pretty soon he's just going to be an animated corpse standing up there in the Senate.
He's halfway there now.
Hellhounds break in.
Weekend at Mitch's.
Yeah, exactly.
You see that thing that I posted where it was it was basically if they make his hand any blacker, he won't allow it to vote.
Right.
Fair enough.
He's becoming a full Sith Lord.
So that's because
it's not just his hand though.
He's gonna leave and go to space too in the Space Force.
Yeah, well,
they're all gonna leave Earth.
I mean, it's not just his hand either. It's also his like lips and like his upper lip.
Yeah,
the shit's turning black.
He's slowly rotting.
Not just blue, black,
rotting out. Oh.
Look,
the devil is starting to, like you said, Sean. The devil is starting to claim his soul. He's out of it.
Yes, I think whatever is wrong with Mitch, he doesn't want to say what it is because he wants to win the election in Kentucky first.
Space herpes.
God, I hope so. But if he wins the election in Kentucky first,
Space
he
herpes.
has to step down for health reasons. The governor of Kentucky can appoint another Republican.
Oh, appoint his little black
Successor.
lackey over there at the Attorney General's office.
Oh yeah, gotta
Yeah, there you
definitely give it
go.
to his son-in-law.
Yeah.
Whereas if he comes out and says he's in poor health, he might lose that election in Kentucky.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the Democrats will hold that seat for 6 years, and that's not what he wants.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't
So
want that at all.
he'll continue to lie about his health until the election's over.
That's more
Yeah, he's
plausible than Trump having COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Mitch McConnell's not stupid.
No, not at all.
He's not. He's evil,
Not
but he's
at all.
not stupid. He's competent. He's competently evil. You need to say that what he is.
Yeah, he's a competent Dr. Evil.
Yes. He can get shit done. He's not. You know.
Yeah, so
I was kind of hoping Trump would
Buddy.
just like tell us about the ills. I was hoping, but that was actually what I was hoping for day one.
honestly, if Trump loses the election, you got about 74 days of lame duck where anything's possible.
I mean, fuck it. I mean, I can see somebody just getting, drunk, happy that he lost, and they leave that fucking book on the coffee table, and this motherfucker just walks by and says, "Oh shit, oh my god, you won't fucking believe it. We've had the aliens."
And then he'll go right to tweeting it.
That shit would be so fucking
I'm
epic.
telling
oh
you.
my god, that would be epic.
Like, did you guys see the SNL little short they did commercial about the people talking about the election being important and talking about Donald Trump? And they said, wait a minute, if he leaves, what are we gonna do? I spent the last 4 years talking about the crazy stuff Donald Trump said. One guy was like, my dad and I argued over Donald Trump for 4 years. It's the first time we've talked for 4 years after that. Like, everyone had a reason.
Yep.
And it's like, what we do? And the guy was like, well, wait a minute. If he leaves, he's not going to really be gone. There's bound to be a trial. He's not going to go quietly. He's like, I mean, he might even represent himself in court. He's like, wait a minute, don't get too excited about that. It might happen. So it's like we have a whole lot of fake, crazy Donald Trump stuff to happen.
I could absolutely see that happening.
Oh, if he goes to court,
he absolutely will refuse to leave.
please let that happen.
Man, that would be fucking.
Well, I don't know, maybe not. Trump has been sued a ton, and he's never actually represented himself.
It's not no, but we can dream that he's crazier now, and he might try because he already thinks
I
he's
don't
his
think-
best press, and he can run every part of the government stuff. So why not be his own lawyer?
If, however, his assets get frozen in a RICO case,
Can't pay for a good lawyer.
couldn't pay for a good lawyer, so he might have to represent himself.
I hope they give him the worst,
Well,
overworked
he'll get a
public
defender.
public prosecutor.
So
public defender.
what's likely to happen is this: Trump will fire everyone that he can fire. He's going to fire Christopher Wray. He's going to fire Gina Haspel. He's going to fire Mike Esper. All those people who aren't loyal to him. Hell, he might even fire Bill Barr as the ultimate fuck you for not actually arresting Joe Biden or announcing some investigation against Joe Biden to help him win the election. He will pardon absolutely everybody. He's going to pardon his kids. He's going to try and pardon his fucking business.
So what would happen? Let's say Trump does lose November 3rd, November 4th. He resigns. Pence is president now.
Donald Trump will not resign.
I don't think he's going to resign.
I don't. If he loses, you don't think so?
Well, no.
You think his ego could take a loss?
Well, no, he won't resign because that would be the smart thing to do. The smart thing to do would be to resign and let Mike Pence pardon him because there's precedent for that.
Yes.
But Trump isn't very smart, so he'll lose. He'll spend.
You don't think the fear of prison is enough to scare him to doing the smart thing?
No, because he thinks he can bullshit his way out. He'll try and pardon himself.
Well,
trust me. He will try to pardon himself.
Yep.
And he'll rely on the fact that he's got 3 justices on the Supreme Court that he put there to side with him that a president can pardon himself,
well,
which won't help him. Here's Trump's problem, right?
The Constitution rule against it.
No, it doesn't matter what Trump does
Yeah.
at the federal level, right?
Yeah.
Because the state of New York is still going to fry his ass.
Yeah.
You know, you have the Attorney General for the state of New York. You have the Manhattan DA.
Yeah.
Both have pans with hot oil in them waiting for Trump to get the fuck out of office.
Do they?
Right? So they are going to cook his ass up and serve him with a nice garnish on state charges, and it doesn't matter what he does federally. He can pardon himself and his kids for any potential federal criminal exposure, which will be interesting
Yeah. Well, he's got that rape case. He's got that rape case too, doesn't he?
which will be interesting, because you're not supposed to be able to use the pardon power for a corrupt purpose.
Right.
Like, there are very few limits on presidential pardon power, but using it for a corrupt purpose is supposed to be one of those limits.
Donald Trump said, "Hold my beer."
Watch this. Yeah.
So he could pardon everybody, but then you could argue that he did it for corrupt purpose.
Yeah.
And then see if you get those pardons quashed, essentially. But I think he'll just try and pardon everyone, including himself, before he leaves.
Yeah. I mean, I would.
And then as the pièce de résistance on the shitstorm that has been the Donald Trump presidency, he might just try and launch a nuke at someone. Iran, maybe.
Oh, geez.
God,
For the hell of it.
Just because.
I think at this point you got to hope that he'll fire defense secretaries. You got to hope there's some generals in the Joint Chiefs would be like, no, enough.
Well, wouldn't that be like
Maybe.
a mutiny if they refused an order?
Well, I mean, when Nixon was going through this shit, they were, I forgot who it was. He was like, yo, any orders crazy orders the president gives go through me. They were making sure they were filtering that shit.
Right. But
Yeah,
that
but
was because
I don't think you should
you
constitutionally
had
stop
competent
it.
people there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know about now.
Yeah, if he fires everybody, there's not going to be anybody left.
Right.
Like,
And
military commanders have said they will not obey any illegal orders he gives. But
Well, what's it illegal?
Very-
But if Trump orders you to launch a nuclear weapon at Iran,
right,
what-
that's not illegal. That's just illogical. It's
Illogical.
immoral.
right? That's what I'm saying. They have to follow that order.
At that point, you got to wonder if who's left in the cabinet to say, okay, it's time to invoke 25.
Right.
You need 7 cabinet members in the VP to do it. So
And you might have a couple of generals that want to nuke Iran. That's your other problem. Some of them are not exactly fond of Iran. I'm just saying.
yeah, but they're not.
exactly fond of it.
But they're not going to just randomly do it with a lame duck president and knowing what the outcome is to that.
All you need is one
hope.
general to feel like
You
this is our best
Yeah, you
chance.
hope. Yeah.
Look, every branch of the military, I think, has access to some form of nuclear weapon.
Of course. Yeah.
Right? So,
Except the
just have to
Space
find-
Force. They don't have any yet.
no, the Space Force gets to throw rocks from satellites.
Well, we have lasers now.
Like laser beam.
Too close.
So yeah, you could find some
foreheads.
you could find some commander who's willing to actually authorize the release of nuclear weapons from some branch of service. And the likely target is Iran, because Iran doesn't have any missiles that could shoot back.
Right.
Whereas if you fired one at China, China has nukes they could shoot back at us.
Yeah, China would not be a good target.
Yeah.
You're talking at the world. The whole internet's over if that happens. The world is
Yeah.
over. If that happens. Iran, not so much.
Yeah, but he could absolutely target Iran, and he probably would. If he was going to launch, if he was going to fire a single nuke to make a point, it would be at Iran.
Yeah.
Not a place in China like they did in years and years.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we've all seen how that War Games movie plays out if you attack China.
Yep.
Right.
It's not gonna. No.
I mean, maybe we're about this all. Maybe Donald Trump's mad genius. Maybe he's building this Space Force secretly. Maybe he knows it's another branch. I don't buy this shit either. I'm saying, I'm throwing it out there as maybe an alternative. I don't believe either, but
Look, remember, Donald Trump is the guy who kept asking in his initial intelligence briefings why he couldn't fire nukes preemptively.
right. No.
Right? He couldn't.
Same guy who was talking about putting disinfectant in your lungs and veins, clear it all out. Clear
Right.
it right out.
Or you be like to kill the bacteria, the virus.
Yeah,
Right.
like this guy. No, there's no mad genius about Donald Trump. He's just an amazing bullshitter.
Yeah, who every once in a while stumbles on something that might just be legit, like the Space Force. I think he stumbled upon some intelligence or whatever and was like, shit, I'm going to make a whole new branch of government, and I'm going to name it the Trump Space Force.
No, I think that motherfucker was watching Star Trek on TV one night, and he thought
It was one of the time travel episodes, and they saw
and then
something
he brought it up
century.
with one of his advisors, like, hey, do we have a Space Force? No, Mr. President. Can we make one? We don't need one, Mr. President. We have the Air Force. I know we have an Air Force, but can we make it?
We have to defend against the Klingons and the Romulans before they attack us.
Yeah.
It's like, so we've got to be ready because the Klingons are out there.
Look, this dude gets all his ideas from TV, right?
Yeah, that's true.
We know this. You can look at his tweets and compare them to shit that's been talked about on Fox and Friends. You can see that asshole is watching.
Or Morning Joe, which he
Reading
claims
about
he
shit.
never watches, but he's always tweeting everything they say on Morning Joe. Yeah.
Look, any person who has the job of president and watches 8 hours of TV a day is a fuckhead. and that's what Trump is doing. He watches 8 hours of TV a day. Fuck, I don't have time to watch 8 hours of TV a day. And I'm working from home.
Right.
This dude is supposed to be president of the United States, and he has time to watch 8 hours of TV a day. And he fucking admitted it in public.
Call it executive time.
Yeah, somebody asked him how much TV he watches or what shows he watches, and he lists off TV shows that are like 8 hours of fucking television in a press conference.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Not even trying to hide the fact that he doesn't do it.
You know the spin they put on it.
There is no
In the
spin.
few hours that he works, he's more effective than Obama
I have
and
heard that.
Bush.
Yeah.
Like moron.
Hey, well, the White House just released and said, his accomplishments, he solved the COVID crisis. That is an official White House statement as far as what Donald Trump has done, has successfully done in his 4 years.
Look, the last book Donald Trump read cover to cover was Green Eggs and Ham.
Did he actually read it or somebody read it to him?
I'm sure he actually read that as a child and decided he didn't like reading. And so he stopped.
Yeah.
And he hasn't read anything since. So
we know he doesn't read intelligence briefings. We know that.
No.
Not only does he not read intelligence briefings, when they give him intelligence briefings, they have to make sure to put his name in them.
Right.
So
I did hear that.
Attention.
I thought it was bad when George W. said he wanted his to be less than 2 pages. Or was that 2 paragraphs? Can't remember. But it's 2 paragraphs? Okay. Yeah. And Trump, you're right. They said they have to put his name in it so he's interested. He'll read it.
Yeah, they have to keep saying his name. I want charts and pictures and pretty graphs and say my name a lot too.
Compare that to Obama, who wanted his briefings, all the details, but he just preferred his on a tablet. Like take it with him and go and read. But he wanted as much detail as possible.
Right. Because he's a smart guy who reads a lot.
Yeah.
And he wants as much information as possible before he makes a decision. Whereas Trump doesn't know anything about anything.
Well, he's smarter than the generals, remember?
Thinks he knows everything
all the
about
generals and all the doctors. I should have been a doctor. He said that. I should have been a doctor. I'm so smart.
I am shocked, absolutely shocked, that the Wikipedia entry for the Dunning-Kruger effect has not added a picture of Donald Trump to it.
Correct.
That dude is he is the walking embodiment of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah.
And anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He knows nothing about anything, but thinks he knows everything about everything.
That's awful, man. Well, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed. I thought we would have like something like light speed or something they're working for this Space Force, but there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing viable.
We don't have wormholes. We don't have time travel. We don't have multiverse travel. We don't have shit. Just a name.
Even the pictures on this website.
generic shit.
It looks like a high schooler made the website.
Photos.
It's like nothing there that's.
It's a fucking MySpace page. Unlimited budget MySpace page.
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
Tax dollars.
Did you say MySpace?
It looks like that.
It's basically a MySpace page.
Yeah, it looks like a MySpace page.
Oh man.
Billions of dollars to end up with a MySpace page. Government tax money hard at work, as always.
Listen, you got to have a private sector CEO running the government. This is.
You just need someone competent with web design.
I think we put that to rest about, we need a business person to run the government. I think we finally know it's a failed experiment.
No, you don't have a.
We don't need a business.
Don't put him in that category. He's not confident as a business person.
Look, bottom line is government is not business. Business people are always going to be.
Bloomberg would be better in charge because he's at least competent.
Well, remember the thing about this is that people in business, their job is to make profits.
But you still have to be competent. It's Donald Trump. He's in his own category.
I know, but
regular business.
right. But
Romney is a business person.
Bloomberg's been an
Romney,
executive as a politician, so that helps. An
But if
executive of the largest
if
city.
it were President Romney, who is clearly a business person, you cannot tell me that he would be worse than Trump.
Oh, absolutely not.
Well,
No, but
nobody
Romney knows how government works.
Again, what I mean by business
Romney
person,
knows how government
Romney's
works.
been an executive in the government, a politician. That's different. I'm talking about a business person with no government experience is what people were asking for. That's different than Romney and Bloomberg. They both have been politicians and been executives of a state and of a city. So people wanted someone who's never a politician, but only in business. Successful or not, you got that.
I think you could do it. I just think Donald Trump's his own category, though.
Oh yeah, Donald Trump's the worst business person
he's
ever.
Not right. He's not good at business. And he's not competent, and he doesn't read, and he doesn't listen to his advisors around him. In fact, he got rid of them. So I'm not going to say that that's a bad idea necessarily, but look at who you got. The ultimate anti-listening to, no reading, no logic, no plan. Fire all my planners. Fire all the people who know policy I don't want to listen to. All the negative traits you could possibly not want in a president. So to say someone who has just business can't do it, I think is big bullshit because look who you're comparing it to. It's Trump. And listen to nobody but himself.
Well,
I think if you take any other competent business person, even with no government training, would do it. You could take Zuckerberg.
Well, anybody with
Twitter.
Anybody with hat, not anybody.
You could take Jeff Bezos from Amazon. It wouldn't be this fucking bad.
Well, okay, so it wouldn't be this bad, but the character traits that make a great CEO are the exact opposite of the character traits that make a great political leader.
Exactly.
Like they just are. They just are.
They are, yes.
Because business and government are two completely different animals.
They're two
Being good
different
at one
things.
doesn't make you good at another.
No, but if you're a business person, you have shareholders. You still have to listen to people. You still have to communicate. You still
You're
have
still
to
driven by a point
You
of
still have to
profit.
delegate. You still have to delegate responsibility to people who are competent, who are better than you are. Like
Government's
the
about
CEO,
management and oversight.
Yeah, but
Government's about
CEOs
regulation.
the CEO is not the person that does the accounting. The accountant is not the one who's the fucking lawyer. The lawyer is not the one who's in charge of production. Like you still have to delegate
But the
responsibilities
CEO,
to highly competent people.
yeah, but the CEO gives an order and then everybody just follows the order. That's not at all how government
But you
works.
still have to know why you're giving the order. You still have to make
I mean, it doesn't matter if you know why. You can know why you're giving an order. You can have a vision in your mind as to where you want whatever it is you're governing to go.
Right.
But it doesn't just go that way because you say so. That's not how.
But even as a CEO with a plan, you run your plan by your people. Plan still has to make sense. End of the day.
But as a politician, you have to know how to. You have to know how to communicate and work with people in the legislative branch. You have to curry favor to get votes. It's a lot of things that CEOs aren't used to doing because CEOs get their way for the most part.
Well, the office politics, like if you're a CEO, the politics work in exactly the opposite direction they do when you're the head of an executive branch, right? When you're a CEO, everybody's playing office politics to curry your favor.
Right.
When you're the head of an executive branch, you have to use politics to curry favor and support amongst the other people in the government. It's the exact reverse direction. Like, I'm not saying that because you're a CEO, you can't be a competent executive branch leader.
Yeah.
But the qualities that typically make the best CEOs, also the same qualities that typically make the worst executive branch leaders. They're just completely different animals. You can be kind of good at both, but if you're a really good CEO, if you're Jeff Bezos, I guarantee you, Jeff Bezos would be shit at running a government.
Definitely, I agree with that.
He's not going to be Donald Trump bad, but he's not going to be very good.
It takes a certain type. It takes a certain type of person who can, as a CEO, who can change and analyze themselves, be enough aware of themselves to say, okay, I'm in a different environment. I can take the positives of being a CEO, but I have to modify how I deal with people and how I deal with other politicians who care about their own constituents, who care about their own electability, so forth, and be able to get them to get on board to vote for things that I need, to push legislation I need. You got to do that, and it's hard for CEOs to do that because for the most part, they got board members, they got a board as shareholders, but not in the same sense. They steer their company. And it's not the same mentality. So
I still think it's a mindset, though. I mean, as a CEO, you have to switch gears, right? I mean, sometimes you're not the smartest person in the room. You have to listen to other people. That's a large part of it. Donald Trump's main issue was not that he's a businessman; it's the type of person he is. I think that has more to do with why he was ineffective.
He's a control freak and he doesn't want to listen to other people, but he's also not
Correct.
smart.
Right, so none of those, right, so
he's
none
a
of those factors
narcissist.
help.
He can't. Everything's about himself. He doesn't care.
Right.
As a politician, he's got to give some
Right,
care
so you
about
got the
people.
worst possible. Right, so you
Yeah.
got the worst possible person in the worst possible position. Like that has a lot to do with it.
But more so than anything else,
Whole cloth say, well, because he's a CEO, only care for the world's business, he can't do it. You just happen to get the worst fucking businessman in the most powerful position of all time, which is a clusterfuck of disaster epic proportions.
yeah. But
I look at it that way.
But the thing that Trump does share with a lot of CEOs is he's very transactional, right? It's a what does this do for me?
Yeah.
For Trump, it's for me personally. For most CEOs, is what does this do for my company? How does this benefit shareholders? It's they don't do things because they want to take care of their employees in most cases, right? Like there's not that sort of almost caretaker mentality you want out of a really good political leader. Like you have to really want to do what's best for the people of whatever city, county, state, country that you happen to be leading. And business people are generally not wired that way. They just don't think that way. They don't operate on that same set of principles. It makes them excellent business people, but it doesn't make them the best, political leaders. It just doesn't. Like we're too used to looking at political leaders in this country who operate on a principle of wanting to do what's best for their donors, which is a very CEO-like mindset because they want to do what's best for the shareholders. So that's one of the reasons we have such terrible government in this country, especially at the federal level, is because we've got a lot of people, a lot of politicians thinking like business people. The donors are kind of their shareholders. They're the people who put money into the campaign and got them into office. So now they own a little piece of them. And so what policies and laws can I put forth that will give the most return to my investors, right? To the people who donated large sums of money to my campaign. If you look at other countries where money is not such an issue in politics, like if you just look at Canada, like if you ask the average Canadian politician what the purpose of government is, and they'll tell you, well, my job as a leader in government is to do the most good for the most number of people, which is supposed to be the correct answer when it comes to government. What policies and regulations and laws can we enact that will do the most good for the most number of people? Right? Not which ones are going to be best for the people who donated to my campaign, which ones are going to be the best for me personally, but for the actual people that I was elected to represent. And we don't have that in this country across large swaths of particularly the federal government. Like it just costs so much money now to run for office in this country that you've got a lot of rich people donating a lot of money to these campaigns, and they're buying a lot of access and a lot of favors and a lot of politicians doing things to benefit them. Again, like a business owner does a lot of things to benefit their shareholders. So we're seeing the wrong kinds of mentality in our government, and having more of it is probably not going to make things better.
Agreed. Everything can't be solved by business. Well, before we sign off, I wanted to actually show you guys this thing. I was looking more at this whole Space Force thing, and it's like the careers for the Space Force. Now, look at this. See what careers they have here. As we go through these, I want you to tell me what's missing.
Um, I don't see anything really about flying.
Space.
Exactly.
I mean, they
Like
have
there's
space.
nothing here about like astronaut or like space, whatever the hell you want to call
Like
it,
a
like
pilot.
like officer on a ship
There's
or
a hell of a lot of cyber in here, actually.
like
It's weird.
there's I mean at most all right, if we're gonna steal things from Star Trek, I mean space system operations, maybe that's Scotty, like engineering or something.
Yeah.
But like
Space operations.
Space
That's-
operations officer and
who's
space
the
systems
kid?
operations.
Who's the kid under Wesley? That's Wesley.
Yes, that's exactly what that is.
yeah, that's like communications, Lieutenant O'Hara or something like that. Like
But
like
look at how much of this is cyber, though, right?
yeah, it's all like
Look
okay,
back
so the Space Force is all in the computer, so it's just that. You're at your computer and you're not really
Yeah,
in
but why the hell are you
space.
folding cyber into the Space Force?
Like none
Like,
of
what
these
is
are
the
actually
hell is
people
that?
in space.
No.
What's that fusion analyst doing? Are they making a drink?
That's for the propulsion that we're gonna have. We don't have it yet, but we will have it one day.
So never. So never.
That's for when we do develop warp speed. Or something.
Well,
The matter,
we won't see it.
antimatter, and dilithium crystals. That's what that's gonna be.
Or ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed. That's what we're getting. Okay.
Wait, what's this? Knowledge operations management. What the hell is that?
Smart person.
A knowledge operations person, basically someone who stores all the information and disseminates it out. Like
A secretary.
No, they keep all the use cases.
So they're a database analyst is essentially what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're
So
project managers.
so cyber systems operations and cyberspace operations officer.
So don't forget cybersecurity.
And don't forget
You're right.
space
And
systems.
cyber transport
operations.
system. Okay, so cyber transport system, is this for the transporters or the space shuttles that are going to be using?
Oh god.
like is this Chief O'Brien right here that's sitting there operating the transporter room?
Nothing.
Like what the hell? Cyber transport system. Like
Wow.
you can't make this shit up. This is the
Damn.
biggest bunch of bullshit.
They
I've
just
ever-
rearrange words.
Yeah, and like half of these are the same position.
It's the same position.
Signals intelligence analyst. Is that for the
Acquisition.
communications from space? How we talk to the aliens? Like what the fuck?
No, that's basically intercepting communications. That's a horror.
Okay, that's a horror. What's acquisitions manager? That's the guy that buys the
People buying
furniture for
equipment.
That's it. Guess guys get space hookers.
No, that's the guy that buys the furniture for your quarters, right?
Yep, that's that guy.
Yeah.
All right. Client systems. That's the holiday person. So-
Yeah, sure.
Client, it's client engagement. No, that's Whoopi Goldberg.
oh, that's Guinan. That's Tim Poe. She's the bartender. She's the bartender. I got you.
That's
Okay.
Dinah. Yeah.
Targeting analysis is going to be Worf at
Weapons.
tacticals.
Weapons. Yeah,
That's
weapons.
tactical.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's Worf.
They should have them with bat lifts.
That should be a bad You have to have honor to have this position.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh man, this is like wow. These are the positions.
Cyber surety. What the
What
fuck
the
is
fuck
that?
is cyber surety? What is cyber
Science officer.
No.
Yeah, cyber. Yeah, science. That's totally Spock. That's got Spock written all
Oh,
over
that
it.
would also be cyberspace operations officer. That could be space operations. That could be all these could be Spock. Cable
Yep.
and antenna systems. We're still using cables and we're in space. Shouldn't that should be isolated?
Engineering, red
That
shirts.
should be isolated
Definitely
chips or
That's
some
not
other
even
new form we
engineering.
don't have.
red shirts.
that's
That's
the
totally red
Verizon-
shirts. That's red shirts right
the
there.
Verizon guy.
Expendables. Expendable red shirts. That's what
No,
that is.
man, this is a space force. Why are we still using cables? We don't need cables. We're future, man. It's supposed to be the
No
future.
Wi-Fi. No
You
Wi-Fi.
got
No
hardwired
Wi-Fi.
stuff, man. This is cyberpunk, man.
Yeah,
We ain't
Wi-Fi.
hardwiring shit. This is new
Amazing to
stuff.
me how many. It's amazing to me how many of these jobs are for enlisted.
Right. Because they only have like a few office rooms, right? Everything's enlisted.
Yeah, there's no Wi-Fi in space, so you gotta have the cables.
The cables.
I don't know. Space station, ISS, International Space Station gets
The
email and
cables
stuff.
provide cyber
Fake news.
surety.
Fake
Wi-Fi.
news.
Fake news.
Fake news. Fucking Russian technology.
This
fake
whole
news.
site is fake news.
This whole site is fake news.
See?
This
I like-
site is trash.
I like this cybersecurity has an all clear in the background.
I love how they make this thing look like it's a regular job. Like if some shit doesn't hit the fan, they're just not going to hand you a rifle and send you out to die.
Because there's no spaceship and there's nothing.
Well, I mean, if the United States ever gets into a real shooting war, these folks are going to stop doing whatever the hell it is they're doing, and somebody's going to say, "Look, I know you signed up to be a cyberspace operations officer, but we need you to go. We're going to transfer your ass to the infantry."
Yeah, because this is not a real job.
So I clicked
Right,
apply now.
exactly.
This is what you get. Quest information. They're gonna contact me back. So if I apply, they call me back. It's like that's what I applied for. And
They'll
all
call
those
you
jobs
back.
I saw,
They'll
there's
call
nothing.
you back on this podcast. They'll be like, "Damn it, you're like
Step
the
2,
first
your
person
address.
who's applied."
I might make up a fake ass thing and see how far this goes. I'm curious now. Wait a minute, airforce.com. Why not airforce.gov?
Good question.
Right.
Huh.
Interesting.
We're calling bullshit on this one.
You don't put your information in there, bro.
Oh no, I'll put fake information in there, definitely. Especially airforce.com. Not mil or gov or whatever.
Yeah.
I
This whole
think,
thing was a scam.
yeah.
Airforce.gov doesn't actually work.
They privatized the Air Force and we didn't even know.
It should
Fuck,
be-
how much did he sell it for? I mean, I did buy Florida for like $2,500. Fuck it.
Listen,
Stay
John
hot.
almost lost his mind
Okay, so the real Air Force
What?
site is af.mil.
when you
Okay.
said you were gonna buy his thing
Ah,
for $25.
Yeah, so Air Force is
That was
af.mil.
That's still funny.
That was a great trolling.
Yeah.
He got so pissed off. It was fantastic.
He still talks about it privately. He's still mad about it. Like, what? Yeah, road stop the whole state. Why not? Best I can do. I know COVID cases in Florida like skyrocketing, so I'm just waiting for them to just die out.
Are
Fuck
you
it.
speaking directly to the
Wow,
computer?
dude, you sound like you just went in a time warp. You're traveling at warp 10 and trying to communicate like through radio. What the hell?
Exactly.
Just saying. I'll just
That's
wait
what happened.
for
See, you signed
Florida.
up for the Space Force. That's what happened.
That's right. Got that.
It's
got
that cable
hoverboard.
connect you got.
Right.
It's like, come on.
Sync up to that Wi-Fi. All of a sudden, a portal opened up. I said, "Fuck it, why not?" See if
Yeah.
I could jump to 2021.
Ludicrous.
Well, much like Trump, the Air Force or Space Force, I'm sorry, is a bunch of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find somebody to sign up for this just to see what happens. I really do want to explore this a little bit more. Call it research. So for Real Talk, we're gonna find somebody in the military that's gonna sign up or at least put their information and see what happens when they try to apply for one of these jobs
So
for the Space Force. So
if you do
that'll
flight
be a
simulator
future
games,
show. We'll do a future catch up on that and
Yeah.
find out what's going on when we get somebody in the military. No civilian
So-
jobs.
I'm just curious. So can you put down Halo or Dead Space as previous space experience? Like, does that count? Like, do you get to put that down as past experience with
Can you put Mass Effect 1,
Wing
2, and 3?
Wing Commander? I'm just saying, Wing Commander.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I go way back.
You wing
So
commander.
I should leapfrog
Get that,
among
man.
the-
How about I go back even further? X-wing versus TIE fighter. How about that?
Yeah. So automatically,
I'm
I
a
should get like
pilot on X-wing and TIE fighter class ships. That's my qualification.
That should definitely get you.
I can
you
fly
know,
X-wing, an A-wing, and what's the other one? A Y-wing, whatever. Yeah, I can fly all three of them.
should definitely
Oh.
get.
I can't fly any of that shit.
And I'm pretty good at Microsoft Flight Simulator. Everything but the landings.
Yeah. Okay.
I know, right? The
land.
important part.
Commander, baby. Wing Commander, damn it.
So what
Guess
you're
what?
saying is we got to send you up each time with a parachute, and you'll just let the plane land.
Hey,
where
if
it
we can
wants
do
to.
autopilot land, I'm good. It's like, so
That'd be pretty good, you know.
I can take off and fly and navigate. It's that landing I'm not that great at yet.
So we all clearly have flight experience here. So we should definitely
So
be
we're
able
all
to.
qualified to get into the Space Force.
Yes, we're all perfectly
We're all
qualified for
very
this.
qualified.
All right. I've watched every Star Trek episode. Did Voyager. Do a little Star Wars on top of that. Speak a little Klingon. Yeah, you're overqualified, sir.
Knock, talk, one knock.
Play some Halo. It's like, oh God.
You're over fucking qualified. That a bitch.
Commander Morrell.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
yeah,
go on
what
Amazon and buy yourself a Starfleet uniform, and then really apply. Send your picture in to the Space Force that you already got.
you should totally go through the list and list all the aero sim, flight sim games we've played, and list the rankings you achieved to see if anyone really would read that shit and get the joke. Really get the fucking job too.
Be like, I have over 3,000 hours.
That's right. I've got 25 years experience flying shuttlecraft, flying aircraft, all types of missions I've completed, all kinds of medals and trophies. You have no idea. I have the best trophies, the best medals, for the most dangerous missions ever. Okay, I am supremely qualified to lead this entire division.
You sound like a trumper that's been educated. Perfect.
That's right.
I have the best medals.
I got the best medals, the best experience.
Best trophies.
Best trophies. 2 green chicks. I'm up 2 green chicks on
I
Captain
am
Kirk.
certified. Look,
Certified.
I am certified on PC, Sega,
PlayStation,
PlayStation 1, 2, 3,
Neo
Xbox,
Geo.
Xbox
Neo
360,
Geo, Atari,
Xbox One.
Sega Saturn. I got it all. Arcade. I got it all. I'm just saying, you're getting the best of the best. I'm just saying.
Cool.
Even in all the Ace Combats, I've beaten all the Ace Combats on top of that. So I'm also a fighter pilot.
And you're already on Mars by the way you're talking. You kind of communicate with Mars, so you're already there.
Right. So I'm supremely qualified.
You guys change places. He's on Cybertron.
Right. He's on.
That's right. I speak Cybertron. I speak perfect Decepticon and Autobot. Still holla at you, boy.
I think we're all qualified to be in the space.
All qualified. I'm just saying, all qualified and shit. All qualified. Just saying.
I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on getting somebody to sign up to see where this goes. This is investigative journalism now. We're going to figure out what the hell happens if someone actually signs up for the Space Force.
That's right. G14 classified, baby.
Our taxpayer dollars are paying for it. We might as well know what happens.
Right. Might as well know. Shit. Might as well know.
I am absolutely qualified because I watched the movie Space Camp 23 times as a kid.
That's right.
Hold
I'm
on.
even more qualified than you because I didn't hate
You're
Starship
someone who's
Troopers.
seen that Chris Tucker movie too, where he talked about GS-14 classified.
Yeah.
I thought I was the only one. When I say that, people look at me like I'm crazy.
I was waiting for somebody to catch that.
Hilarious shit ever. God
When he had on that crazy wig.
Help me, this G14 classified.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the
Couldn't get a
one
name
with
that
Charlie. He was with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
That movie was great.
That's how you gotta be. So we're all qualified. We're gonna be in the Space Forces. This will be good.
Yeah.
I like this. New career opportunities. I like this.
Yeah.
So
Government salary.
We will revisit this on another day when we get some more data. We will report back what happens with this Space Force.
That's right.
Either we will report back or somehow be arrested. Whatever happens.
Yes. Investigative journalism at its finest.
Right. We're going to figure this out for all the people that are watching. We're going to figure it out.
Right. Took out 36 Kilrathies. I mean, you don't get them kind of kills.
Oh my God. Wing Commander, taking me back.
Old school, baby.
Great
Can't get that
video
kind of
game,
experience now.
horrible.
Yeah, yes. That's right.